Okay, so today I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about really two strategies for working, well, one strategy in particular for working with pain, but the ability to sort of move through and dissolve pain. We need to be in a relaxed body. So, and when the body's relaxed, the mind is relaxed, and the body actually feels less pain when we relax. I remember years ago when I was in massage school, and there was a physical therapist teaching us. And her comment was that if we relax when we're in pain, then it's not going to hurt as much. So I remember not too long after that hitting my thumb by accident with a hammer. And oh my God, did it hurt. And the first thing is to, oh no. And then I remembered what she said. So, experimenting, and I just tried relaxing. I was really surprised. It really does work. It does reduce the pain. Go ahead, Alan. Yeah.
So anytime I have needed to have a vaccination, what I tell the deliverer is put the needle in and don't inject the serum until I tell you.
Oh.
And so then I relax the arm, or I relax the whole body, but I relax.
Yeah.
And ordinarily, I don't have a problem.
Ah, thank you. I never even thought of that. What a great idea.
A nurse
I'm
told
going
me that.
I'm going to try that next time, because I know it's like when the needle first goes in, it hurts. So thank you. I'll try that. To begin with today, what I thought we would do is to start with an exercise that helps to relax the body. And it comes from dialectical behavior therapy, which was founded by Marsha Linehan for people with borderline personality disorder. But it's really used as a way to reduce stress and also stop impulsive behavior, which I'm sure we all have moments where we act impulsively. So the exercise is called paired muscle relaxation. And it also not only relaxes, but also helps to clear the mind. So let's see, I'm getting some feedback. So I think what I'll do is mute everybody so that we can, there we go, let's see. Mute all. Although it's nice, so if you want to talk, you can just raise your hand and then I'll call on you, and then unmute, but I'll put everybody on mute. Okay. So as you all know, there's two hemispheres in the brain. One's responsible for verbal and concepts, and the other is responsible for images, like and sensations. So when one is active, the other one, because they inhibit each other. So when one is active, the other one quiets down. So if we're paying attention to the body, then the stories in our minds are going to quiet down. Now, why do we want to quiet down the stories? So it brings to mind and some of you have heard this about not shooting yourself with the second arrow. It's a Buddhist perspective. And by the way, I'll be sharing more of Buddhist concepts, because I actually went to, remember last week I talked about the Cheetah House, which is an institution and a website that's dedicated to helping meditators in distress. And one of the things I found is that they said that some people will go into distress because they don't have enough understanding of the Buddhist concepts. I thought, well, that's kind of interesting, because I've avoided really focusing or bringing in many of the Buddhist concepts because a lot of people see it as religious. But once I heard that, it was like, okay, because these people are researchers, and it's run by or headed up by Willoughby Britton, who teaches at Brown University. So for those of you who were not on the call last week, you can check that out. It's spelled like cheetah, CHEETAH, cheetahhouse.org. Okay, so the idea of, and I'll use an example of not shooting yourself with the second arrow. Let's say if you're like me, when you stub your toe, the first thing I think is, how stupid could I be, right? And then it's like, I can't, or I get a headache and it's like, why me? It's not fair. I don't have enough time. I have too much to do. All of those stories. So the first arrow is the pain, is the stubbed toe or the headache. The second arrow is the emotional pain, all the stories we tell ourselves. Okay. So if we're focused, we have enough concentration and we're focused on our body, then that quiets down that verbal part of the brain. So it quiets down those stories. So that's why we want to practice paying attention to the body and relaxing the body, among other reasons. Okay, so, and also people suggest, or the counselors who teach this practice, they recommend that you practice it 2 or 3 times a day, and that eventually you'll be able to relax your whole body on command just by saying the word relax. Okay, so I'm going to screen share the graphics for that. That would be it. Share. Okay. Well, I'm going to have to move it over here so you can see it. Here we go. Okay. Paired muscle relaxation. That way you'll be able to kind of, if you want to check and see what we're going to be doing next, it just gives you an idea of what's going to happen. So let's practice. And I'll ring the bell. And you asked, well, what was the purpose of the bell? And I was thinking about that today, and I thought it's really about ritual, and ritual kind of sets the mood. So that's why. Anyway, you might want to turn off your camera or turn down the lights in your room while we do the practice. Okay. It feels right. Whatever feels right for you. I'll start with the bell. I think I have to unplug. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me okay. Yes? Can you see a thumbs up if you hear me okay? Good. Okay, so find a comfortable position for your body. And it's more relaxing if you keep all of your body parts uncrossed and free from supporting one another. And it might be helpful to loosen any tight-fitting clothes or restrictive clothing. So we'll start with the hands, and I'll give you instructions as we go along. So what we'll do is to start with the hands, and you make a fist with both hands, and then you bend the wrists backwards, okay? And then really contract it and tight and hold it. Hold the tightness. While you're holding it, you inhale and notice the surrounding areas too when you are tightened up and contract. And then when you exhale, silently say to yourself, relax. And then notice the different sensations that you encounter as you relax. And then bringing the attention now to the lower and upper arms. Make a fist with both hands. Bend the arms up to touch your shoulders. And then really tighten them up. Hold that contraction. Notice how it feels in the surrounding areas as you contract. And inhale. And then as you exhale, silently say to yourself, relax and let it all go. Feel how that feels too as you let it go. And moving on to the shoulders. So pull the shoulders up to the ears. And hold that and feel it. Inhale. Notice how it feels around the shoulders to tighten them. And then as you exhale, relax. And notice the different sensations that you encounter as you relax. And then moving to the forehead, pull the eyebrows close together and wrinkle the forehead. Again, inhale, feel that area and the surrounding area. And then exhale and relax. Feel how it feels to relax your forehead. Moving to the eyes, shut the eyes tightly. Feel the contraction. Inhale, notice the surrounding area as you contract the eyes. And then exhale. Relax. Notice how that feels. Nose. Scrunching up the nose. Bring the upper lips and the cheeks towards the eyes. Scrunching up the nose. Feel the tension there. And inhale. Become aware of the surrounding area. And then exhale and relax. Then move to the lips and the lower face. Press the lips together and bring the corners of the lips towards the ears. Like that. And inhale, feel that tension, hold it, and then exhale and relax. Now the neck. If you're sitting in a chair and you can put your head back, or if you're lying down, to push your head against the pillow or the chair or the floor, wherever you are, and then feel that tension in your neck. And as you feel it, begin to become aware of how it feels around the neck when you tighten it. And then inhale and relax and let it go. And then the chest. Take a deep breath in and hold it. Feel the tension in the chest. And then exhale and say relax. And then the stomach. Contract the stomach and the core tightly. Feel the tension in the stomach and the surrounding area. And then inhale, hold it, and then exhale, silently saying, relax. Or you can always say it out loud since you're on mute anyway. Whatever works for you. And then bringing the attention to the back. And arch the back and pinch the shoulder blades together. Okay, feel the tension in your back. And feel the surrounding area. Holding it tight. And inhale. And then exhale and relax. And then moving down to the buttocks. Squeeze the buttocks together tightly. Feel the tension. Notice the surrounding area. And then inhale and relax. And then moving down to the upper legs and thighs. If you can push the leg out, sort of hold them up a little bit, tense up your quads and your hamstrings. Feel that tension. Notice the surrounding area. Inhale. And then exhale. Relax. We're down to the calves. Again, the legs are out, pointing the toes down. Inhale. Tighten those calves. Really feel the tension. And let it go. Relax. And to the ankles. Again, pointing the legs out, pointing the toes together towards each other. And the toes are curled under. The heels are out. Feel the tension there in the toes and the feet, and also in the ankle, and notice how it feels around that area, like in the calves. Inhale, hold it and tense it even more, and then relax. Let it go. And then finally, tense the entire body all at once. Okay. Really try to intense, hold up, tighten the whole body. It might help to think of yourself as a stiff robot or a piece of wood or steel. Just hold all the tension in your whole body. And inhale, hold, and then say relax and let it all go. Perhaps feeling like you're a rag doll, or just let your body limp or droop. There. I'll ring the bell to finish. There we go. So, is everybody able to relax? To tighten up the whole body and actually feel the surrounding areas around the body? Or just, how was the whole thing for you anyway? Anybody want to share?
Donna, there are a couple of questions.
Yep, okay. In the chat? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Ah, you couldn't hear me very well. Okay. Let's see, does this
That's not it. Now we have no sound.
no sound? That's weird. Okay, is that better? If not, I'm gonna try again. Can you hear me?
Ask Carol. Ask Carol.
Carol? You can, okay. It's better? Okay. And Arlene, the website, Cheetah House, CheetAH, Cheetah.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Colin. Okay. Anybody else want to share how that exercise was for you? Yes. Chuck?
Oh, me? Okay. So what was the objective to help you to relax?
Mm-hmm.
What was really the objective with all that?
Okay, so the objective, two things. One, if we pay attention to the body, then we stop the stories. So we're not shooting ourselves with the second arrow. Okay, that's one. Two, when the body's relaxed, then that helps to relax the whole mind anyway. And because when we're tense, it tends to also turn off the prefrontal cortex, which is the judgmental part, the part that's the function, what I want to say, executive functioning. So it turns on, and it turns on the amygdala, which is the part that's reactive and impulsive. So if you can relax the body, you're relaxing your nervous system, then you can think more clearly, and make wiser decisions. So that's really the main purpose for being able to. And so their idea is that by using this, they say if you practice it 2 or 3 times a day, then you're training your body and your mind, and then you start to venture into places where there's more stimuli, so that you can practice it there. And then eventually, then you're in the middle of a stressful environment, you can quickly relax your body in a moment's notice. I'm remembering the story Thich Nhat Hanh talks about the refugees all being in the boat. And they said that if everybody was all tense, then they were in trouble because there were pirates around, whatever, the boat would go over. But he said if there was one person on the boat that was calm, then that set the pace or the mood for everyone else. So there's a lot of reasons to be able to relax your body on command. And also you feel pain less when your body is less tight. Yeah. Did that answer your question?
Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? Questions or comments? Otherwise, we'll move on. Okay. Guess not. Okay. So there are a lot of mindful strategies for working with pain. And so I think we're going to have to do this in 2 parts, like maybe do more of that next week. This one that we're going to practice today is really my favorite of all of them. I've used it before with people. The title of it is called Dissolving Pain. Some of you have done it with me in the past. And it really I've seen how it works. It works on myself. It works on, and people have reported like, oh my God, it really works. So I see Carol shaking her head, yes. So it was developed by Les Fehmi, Lesfehmi, or Fehmi. And he was at, I need you to mute, I'll mute everybody, here we go. Okay, he was at Princeton doing research, and he found that when he asked participants to imagine the space between their eyes, all of the brain waves became synchronous. They just all went together. Until then, most people, when the brain waves, or when the body relaxes or the brain is relaxed, the brain waves may slow down, but they're going at a different sort of pace and not all synchronized. So he developed this practice and has come up with different ways that we can focus our attention. I'll talk about that in a minute. So he developed this particular practice for dissolving pain, but I found a man named, the doctor in the UK named Tomas Kopek, who adapted this practice, and he just made it more user-friendly. So let me just see. Yeah. So the question is, it's really about being able to actually dissolve the pain. The question is, does it work? And as Tomas says, it almost always works. The times that it doesn't work is usually, but not exclusively, It happens to elderly patients who have difficulty understanding the concept of diffusing their attention. So let me talk a little bit about what that means, okay? When we first learn and practice mindfulness, most teachers will tell you, focus on one thing, and when your mind wanders, bring it back. Usually it's focus on breath or some body part. Once the concentration gets really strong, then up our, and the best way I can describe attention is, or open awareness is, if you stand to a beach and you feel the sand underneath your feet and wind on your face and the sun on your skin and the sound of the waves and the birds all at once. It's that kind of, or when you see a rainbow, you see this vastness and you take it all in, okay? That's diffused attention. We all do it, but we can train ourselves to do it on command. So why do we want to do that? Because when we're feeling pain, we generally have what he calls narrow focus. We focus in on it. I don't want it. It shouldn't be happening. You know, it's bad. All the stories and we're focused in on it. If we can diffuse our attention, then when there's pain, it only becomes one of a multitude of stimuli. So it's our consciousness gets bigger. So we're going to actually practice that. Let's just see. And in the case of chronic pain, what he recommends is that let's say after a few hours of practicing it, and then the pain may come back, that then you do it again. And eventually, if you repeat the exercise for a few days, and then you can achieve long-term improvement, okay? So anyway, according to the open focus theory, that there's 4 attention styles: narrow and diffuse, and then there's subcategories. So if you're interested, you can get the book called Open Focus. I know they have it at many libraries because that's where I got it many years ago. Okay, and so when we feel pain, that triggers a narrow objective attention style, like I mentioned, right? Because the narrow pain kind of grasps and focuses, and it's sort of involuntarily redirects our attention. So, and what happens is that it's a very sort of narrow and objective, because what happens is that we feel the pain and that it's separate from the self, from the ego. So there's me, and then there's the pain. Okay, so it's 2 separate beings. So I have this pain and I want to get rid of it. In order to dissolve the pain, in open focus theory, if we switch our attention style to diffused and a more immersed kind of attention, then you and the pain are immersed in consciousness. Okay. Consider the idea of dissolving. When you put a drop of blue dye in a cup of water, it's going to turn the water blue. If you drop of blue dye in a lake, you won't see it. Okay, so it's that kind of dissolve. That's why he called it dissolving pain. The pain becomes dissolved in a bigger consciousness. Right. So the easiest way to sort of immerse, to let go. The tricky part is that the letting go is that we don't have to do anything, because immersing sort of just happens if we can let it happen. So that makes it hard. But the easiest way to learn how to do it is to become aware of the space between the pain and other body parts. This is that idea he's talking about, the space between your eyes. You know? So anyway, after a short training, then we can become aware of the space inside and around the pain. Just considering that all atoms are vast space, right? Not much matter in there. So So what we're going to do then is to switch the attention simultaneously to a more diffused and immersed, kind of very immersed with the pain in consciousness. All right. I was thinking about that this morning. This morning as I sat and meditated, I my mind was really busy. It generally is on Tuesday morning. So I decided what I would do is just to allow my consciousness to go into bliss. I used to play with that a lot because years ago when I realized that I could make my mind go into bliss whenever I wanted, I realized that it didn't matter what was happening out here. There was a place I could go to in vacation. So I always tell people, you practice long enough, you're able to make your mind go into bliss. So I was thinking about that how is that different from diffused attention? Diffused attention, you're sort of holding it all in your consciousness, and in the sort of bliss sense, there's no content, it's empty. That's really hard to describe, but at any rate, it feels really good. In fact, when I got up, I was sitting for half an hour in that sense. So it's like, I feel like I got a whole body. I think I'll do that some more. Anyway. And the way you get there is by practicing concentration meditation. Because if you stay focused on one thing, one point, it could be a spot on the floor, it could be a sound of a machine running, it could be whatever you can really focus on, whatever sense that you can focus in on the best. If you practice that for long enough, at one point, the mind just like opens up. And then you're in this wonderful state of bliss, of emptiness, and the whole body, it just feels so relaxed. So, and these days you can't go out and get a full body massage. So, darn. Yeah. So practice meditation. Practice one-pointed concentration. Okay. So there's one disclaimer for doing this practice on dissolving pain, and that is it should only be done when the reason for the pain is clear, and not feeling the pain, he says, may give you a false impression that the problem has been healed when it has not. So when the reason for pain is not completely clear, then you want to see a doctor, of course. Also, I'm not going to mention not driving, so we don't have to worry about that. But so let's practice. Okay. I'm not going to start with ringing the bell because it's too much taking that. So let's all feel comfortable so that the body can relax and it doesn't distract us. Take a deep breath. And maybe slow the breath down. And first, you need to learn more about your pain. So, if you're not feeling pain, we can also do this with anxiety. If you're not feeling pain, you're really lucky. But if you're feeling even discomfort, you can use it with the discomfort. So you may want to pick that one area that's uncomfortable. But if you're not feeling any pain, you are lucky, then imagine something that brings you anxiety, because this also dissolves anxiety too. Because you'll feel where you feel the anxiety, okay? So notice exactly where you feel the discomfort or the pain or the emotional discomfort. And now feel where the borders of the pain are. Feel where it starts and where it ends. Now feel your pain. Good. And notice, is it a flat sensation on your skin? Or is it a three-dimensional shape inside your body? Now, is it still or is it moving? Good. Can you give it a color? What is its color? And now feel what the surface is like, smooth or rigid. And now grade your pain from 0 to 10. Where 0 means pain and 10 is very strong pain. Okay, so now you know a lot about your pain. And we can start the exercise. So being aware of your body, making sure it's comfortable again. And place your right hand on the right knee and the left hand on the left knee. And close your eyes. It's best to keep your eyes closed throughout the rest of the exercise. And now become aware of all the sensations coming from the right hand. Feel the touch of the knee. Feel gentle vibrations coming from your right hand. Feel the touch of the knee. Feel the pulse on the top of the fingers. Feel the pulse. Feel the temperature of your hand. Feel your right hand is warm. Okay, and now become aware of all the sensations coming from your left hand. And again, feel the touch of the knee. Feel the gentle vibrations coming from your left hand. Feel the pulse on the tops of the fingers. Feel the pulse. And now feel that your left hand is warm. Feel your left hand. And now become aware of all the sensations coming from both your hands at the same time. and I will tell you how to do that. Find the place in the space which is in the middle of your hands. Imagine you are there. Feel them equally. Find the space which is in the middle and feel. Just feel the space which is between your hands. Feel space. And now we're going to include the lips and the tongue, since there's so many nerve endings there. Become aware of all the sensations coming from your lips and your tongue. And now feel lips. Feel your upper lip first. Gentle vibrations coming from your upper lip. And now feel your lower lip. And now feel your tongue. Lots of vibrations coming from your tongue. And now feel your lips and your tongue at the same time. Good. And now the sensations coming from your lips and tongue and hands at the same time. And I will tell you how to do that. Find a place in the space which is in the middle between these three areas. Imagine you are there, and you will be able to feel them equally. Find in the space which is in the middle between these three areas. Imagine you are there and feel. And now feel the space which is between your hands, your lips, and your tongue. Feel all the sensations coming from this space. Feel space. Good. And now while you're feeling the space between your hands, your lips, your tongue, feel your pain at the same time. Feel space and the pain at the same time. Feel the pain and the space. Very good. Now become aware of all the sensations coming from your hands, your lips, your tongue, and your pain, all at the same time. And I will tell you how to do that. Find a place in the space which is in the middle of these four areas. Imagine you are there and you will feel them equally. Find the place in the middle, be there and feel. Good, and now feel the space which is between your hands, your lips, your tongue, and the pain. Feel all sensations coming from the space. Feel space. Feel the space. And a bit longer. Feel space. And a bit longer. Feel space. And just a bit longer. Feel space. Okay. Now we're at the end of the exercise. So you can slowly open your eyes, and grade your pain on a scale of 0 to 10. Has it changed? How is the shape of your pain, its size, its color, its surface? Feel that anything has changed? Anybody want to share? Yeah. Ah, I've got this. Anybody? Okay, raise your hand and I can call on you. Is there anybody see a difference? Anne? Go ahead. Okay, Anne and then Dorothy. Anne, do you know how to unmute? Yeah.
There.
Yeah, go.
I found it helpful in that I could concentrate on one area of pain,
Mm-hmm.
and it was helpful to give it a color, to give it a shape, to focus in on it.
Yeah.
And it was also interesting the different sensations of feeling the hands and concentrating on and feeling the pulse. After that, the getting into the space and the coming out, I didn't quite measure up to that. I didn't get quite the intensity, but it was very interesting. Again, just sort of face to face with the pain
Uh-huh.
and define it.
Yeah. And that's how we can be mindful of our pain.
I can control. I've got pain all over the place, but right now I'm choosing to address just this one area and just, again, color and shape and everything else. Very interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. Because then you begin to develop a relationship with it.
Yeah.
Okay. Rather than it's me, then it's like me and the pain. At least that. Of course, then the next step is and this takes more practice. I also think that maybe practicing with just being aware of the space in the room, like become aware of the four corners in the room, and then become aware of the space in the room. And that might help to get more used to feeling space.
Yeah. Interesting.
Because, you know, our bodies are made up of space, so.
Yeah.
Okay. Dorothy?
I felt the pain that I concentrated on went away.
Oh.
So I've got this, I think I've got this on, on my saved so I could do it. And
Yeah.
I haven't been doing it. And I'm going to keep doing it.
That's the idea. The more you do it, then
Yeah.
the pain gets less and less until eventually you don't have pain anymore. So if you go to dissolving pain exercise on YouTube, I think it's called dissolving pain long, which would be the long form.
That's what the one I have, I think.
Yeah. So you can find it there. But I can also send everybody a link too, because it's like, yeah, it's, I think, one of the best ways to deal with pain. Aline, thank you, Dorothy.
So I moved from the chair to the couch
Yeah.
with the computer on my lap, and then you wanted me to put my
Oh,
hands on my knees.
yeah.
So that was really uncomfortable because I needed to then bend my knees.
Mm,
So when I do this again, I have to be sitting.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you for saying that, because I'll make sure I mention that too, to make sure you have nothing else on your lap. Yeah. Thank you.
well, and that you should be sitting up in a chair with
Yeah.
your,
Yeah.
your
Right.
and,
Right. Right.
but I did, I have a lot of training in Gestalt. I think you probably know that.
Yeah.
And the whole idea of assigning a color, a shape, a temperature,
Mm.
making it the shape bigger, making the shape smaller. This is all techniques that I have used,
Mm.
that when you change the shape in any way, changing the color, the texture, the size,
Mhm.
all, you gain control.
Right.
And so, I think that would be an additional layer on what this was about, not just assigning it a color and a shape, but then taking control over it.
Yeah.
Following me?
Well, what you're sort of doing is stepping back from it, really, because you're not really assigning. You notice if it has a color. So rather than you know what I mean? It's like,
I see. So it's more of a notice than take
right.
charge. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
And the real idea is becoming aware of space and letting the pain just be one of many stimuli. Yeah. Okay. So, anybody else want to share? Okay then. Any other questions about what we did today? Also, while you're thinking about that, if you have any requests for areas that you would like me to cover, always send me an email, and I'm happy to do that. So, okay. Well, if there aren't any other questions, then maybe everybody unmute yourself, and if there's anything you want to share or say goodbye or.
Actually, I wonder if you did talk about the amygdala and the limbic system and whatnot. In this time of COVID, I think most people's amygdala is more active than we'd like to admit.
Yeah.
And perhaps if you could do a focus thing on that.
Relaxing the brain, relaxing the nervous system, really.
Yeah, quieting the limbic system.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I will. Yeah, in fact, I was thinking that next week maybe we would do more like emotional quieting the emotions. Okay, well, thank you all for showing up.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Take care and have a wonderful week.
And
Be
you too.
safe, be happy. Thank you. Thank you, Kat. Okay.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Merry
Bye.
Christmas, everybody.
Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you.